Hello everyone, and welcome to my speedrun of The Room Tribute. This was just like a fun little side project I've had going on for a couple of days. Unfortunately, I didn't get any live commentary done at the time, because it was just super early in the morning and I didn't really feel like talking. So I just decided I'd record some post-commentary. So about this game is, if you have not seen this movie, first of all, go see this movie. And second of all, it does have some spoilers in it, so you might not want to watch it. But if you have seen the movie but you haven't played the game, I would seriously recommend it. It's really well done, and like IGN gave it 10 out of 10, so you know it's really good. But anyways, without further ado, let's get right into the run. So right away, there's a trick with the screen transitions, where when the screen is fading in, if you can activate some dialogue, as soon as the dialogue finishes, it'll make you walk backwards through the transition automatically. So what that means is, as soon as I activate the dialogue for buying the dress, as soon as it's done, it just goes backwards through the door for me, so it's basically just a way to save time. Um, those random quotes you'll hear throughout the run is just my splits. I decided, since it was just like a silly project, I decided that every time I split, depending on how good it was, it would play a different quote. So if I'm saving time, it'll play one quote. If I'm losing time, it'll play another. I just thought it was kind of funny, so I decided to keep it. Here you'll see another example of the screen transition trick. So you'll see I click on the flowers and I immediately activate the dialogue, and then it just goes backwards through the door really quick. That trick for, well, not trick, but just dragging the flowers is surprisingly difficult to do quickly. The hitbox is kind of weird, and I'd say it's the thing I reset the most over running this game. So basically every morning you have to take a shower and equip your clothes. So basically what you want to do to optimize the movement is click, and then while your character is moving, you want to equip your clothes, and then click on the stairs before you finish moving. And that's just, that way you don't stop. And coming up is the fight between you and Chris-R, and the dash in his name is canon, and it's basically like a Pokemon style fight. So you basically got two moves, a taunt and a throw attack. The taunt will make him take more damage from the next attack. So what you want to do is taunt attack, and it does 3 damage, and he's got 9 health, so you just kill him in 3 turns. You do have to time the throw though, otherwise it doesn't do as much damage. So, something to know about the dialogue in this game. If you hold down the S button, it'll skip through the dialogue, like super quick. And at the end of the game, after you complete it, it tells you you can do this, so it's obvious that the developers intended for this to become like a super serious speed game, and they wanted this to be like a really competitive speedrunning scene for this. I'd like to think that the transition trick is intentional as well, just, you know, to really add to the super complicated tricks in this game. Because everyone knows that meme games are the best speed games. So now we just gotta take Denny back to his very nice looking apartment there. And in case you can't tell, a lot of this game is just pure memorization and knowing where to click next, and basically trying to click there as soon as you can. So for most screens, I have something like where I line up my cursor so I can start mashing while the transition is going. That way I start moving as soon as the transition is over.
I love you, darling.
Oh yeah, and something weird about this game is sometimes the music just kind of stops working. I don't know why. It's a shame, because I actually really like the music in this game. Eventually it'll start back up again whenever it feels like it. So if you use the screen transition on her when you're talking to her, it'll actually make you walk back to the left, so you don't want to do that. So you actually have to wait, you know, half a second or so before you talk to her. So for this sequence, you don't actually have to throw the football when the little bar is in the middle. You can just throw it as soon as possible to save time. So right here is kind of an optimization. Basically, you go and you get the tape recorder now, which is before the game actually tells you to go and do it, but it saves a fair bit of backtracking than if you do it when it actually tells you to. And it doesn't actually matter if you do it now, so it's just a way to save time. Now I'm gonna shut up for this.
You're tearing me apart, Lisa!
Ah, gold. Pure gold.
I'm tired, I'm wasted. I love you, darling.
So now you need to go and play football again. I actually just noticed that all of the other characters throw the football normally, but then Johnny just chucks it however you want, just totally wrong. That's kind of funny. There I kind of messed up my movement a bit, and I clicked on the wall instead of actually on the football, so I didn't actually move anywhere.
I'm tired, I'm wasted. I love you, darling.
So, coming up is the legendary sandwich making minigame, where you have to make sandwiches for your friends, and you actually have to take some bread, slice it up, and what you're supposed to do is cut up some lettuce and tomatoes to put on the sandwiches, but for some reason, you can use some sort of blue cleaning gel instead, and it works, and it ends up saving a couple of clicks, so you go for it. It's just kind of weird how they put that in the game. And as you can see, the music decides to stop playing again here. Again, I don't know why. And it's back. Here I kind of messed up the tuxedo, but it's small potatoes.
I love you, darling.
Ah, beautiful. Mark is truly the ultimate human being. Second only to Johnny. And now we get to go and play football again, in case you hadn't had enough of that. But apparently there's nothing else to do in San Francisco.
I'm tired, I'm wasted. I love you, darling. I'm tired, I'm wasted. I love you, darling.
So now, what's next is you go and you have coffee with Mark. Not a whole lot to say about that. I mean, you basically did the exact same thing earlier with Denny, but this time it's with Mark. And I hate that dialogue menu because I very clearly clicked cheesecake, but it decided to close anyways without going through.
You're right, it tastes good.
And now you're supposed to go and play football with Mark, you know, because we need more football in this game. But you actually have to wear that specific outfit, otherwise the game just does not let you progress. I guess fashion is just that important to Johnny, you know, in case you couldn't tell from his haircut. So there's kind of a trick with football, where after you catch it, you want to move as close as you can to Mark. That way you don't have to throw the football as far. And it just saves a little bit of time with the ball traveling in the air. But I promise that is the last of the football. And then you just have a little bit of a race where you jump over some logs. Unfortunately, I kind of messed it up at the end, which is a bit of a shame because I think the only other time I've done that is my very first run. Kind of annoying that it happened on this good of a run, but it wasn't too bad.
You're right, it tastes good.
And there, for some reason, when you're holding down the dialogue skip button, sometimes it'll just decide to stop working. So even though I was holding it down there, the dialogue still popped up. So what you have to do to fix that is just basically let go of it and press it down as fast as you can. It's an annoying way to lose time, but there's not really anything you can do about it. So we're coming up to the last day, and unfortunately this is where the biggest mistake was made, because before you go to work you're supposed to eat like a birthday cookie or something, and I totally forgot about it, so I'm just clicking on the door, and I'm wondering why it's not letting me through. It's because I didn't eat the stupid birthday cookie. I hate that birthday cookie. And that is the last time we go to work, because all work and no play makes Johnny a dull boy. Now enjoy this wonderful cutscene. Really good on the developers of this game for filling in that slight plot hole from the movie. Of course, I guess it's possible that Tommy Wiseau just left it like that on purpose, and it was all totally intended, because after all, that man is a genius. Talk shit, get hit. And now there's another fight sequence similar to the one with Chris-R, except this time you're fighting Mark. And for some reason, in this fight, they made it so the taunt only works some of the time. Like, it just won't do anything. So if that happens, it's a really, really annoying way to lose run, because it's just pure RNG, and it's at the very end. Luckily, it was nice to me on this run, though. And he was a vampire the whole time. I knew he was too perfect. And there, it's actually faster to just lose the push fight. you actually click down the stairs too soon there, it'll actually soft lock your game, because Elisa won't leave, but the game won't know what it's supposed to do next, so you just basically have to start over. And I've lost several good runs to that, which is really annoying. I wish I could scream like that. I kind of really messed this part up. Like this if you cry every time. And that is the room in 15 minutes and 37 seconds. So I'd just like to give out some shoutouts. First of all to Hansbro for speedrunning this game on his stream, and that's basically what got me into trying to run this game. Also to Squeaky Shoes for the sub 16 hype. And then lastly to the previous world record holder, Chiron97. He had a 16:05. And I just, basically if his record wasn't so good, it probably wouldn't have pushed me to try and get a time like this good of a time. And also, I borrowed a couple of his strats for a few things, like he's the one where I got the movement optimization from, and also from where you can just lose the pushing battle between you and Mark. And I think that's all I have to say about that, so thank you very much for watching.